Hello and welcome to the best mods for Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. We're going to be covering all the best mods as so many mods are getting released. So if you're keen to stay up to date with all the latest and greatest mods, mod news, or anything Kingdom Come Deliverance, come along for the journey as we explore all the best mods. Let's go. Now I've tried a few different combat mods for KCD2. And this next one is probably the one I've enjoyed the most. It's called Rebalance Combat Speed Mod. The mod is designed to make fights more dynamic and fluid. It speeds up both Henry and the enemies, making engagements feel more intense, much faster. The pacing is different. Blocking, parrying, timing is all changed. So this does come with increased difficulty. And if you're a bit of a scrub like me, it completely transforms combat, but it feels way more engaging and rewarding in my mind. For those that are good at the game, this is going to be a pretty interesting mod. I think you're really going to like it. The mod comes in two different versions. The main version which is the one I've got on here, is 20% faster combat. You have another version, 15% speed increase, and then the final version, which is a tweaked version, which adjusts the AI aggression and behavior to balance out the speed increase. So a good array of options here. The key changes for this mod will be faster combat animations. So the increased movement speed for attacks, parries, and dodge. It dramatically improves the AI responsiveness. Enemies react more quickly and are much more aggressive. However, when it comes to the tighter combo windows, this will become more skill dependent. All your timing and your comfortability with the combat mechanics will require for precise execution. Those windows to get to combos, parrying, and blocks, those windows are much shorter. But for those that have been asking for a more difficult combat, this is a good mod to try. It does rebalance the AI's blocking. Enemies are more likely to block attacks, but leave openings. There's adjustments to the perfect block and respite windows. These have been matched with the new animation speed. Directional attack improvements reduces the input lag when switching between attack stances. Pretty robust combat mod, makes it much more engaging, increases the challenge. There's AI improvements and good customizable option. Overall, this is a fantastic and one of the more interesting, this is a well-executed combat overhaul that adds speeds and intensity, giving combat a unique and different feel. The Ottoman Sabre Kilij. This mod introduces the beautifully designed, gold ornamented Kilij with the new Damascus steel blade. This is a direct conversion from the KCD one, which we've covered in previous videos, but now it includes 4K textures for enhanced detail and realism, and it looks superb. It's an excellent conversion from the KCD1 mod. The sword will be available for purchase from 2 blacksmiths, Trotsky Castle or Sigmund's Camp. It can also be obtained by a console command. Do note though, it currently lacks a scabbard, a custom scabbard, but it is planned for the future. The stats make the weapon completely brutal. It's quite long, so it has a good amount of reach. So it's overall like a crazy good weapon to use. Fantastic visuals, particularly the handle, but stay tuned because there will be further updates to hopefully fully integrate this. Majestic Beasts 4K. This is an excellent mod to increase immersion with all animals being upscaled into either 4K or 2K textures, depending on your preference and performance. The goal here is to enhance the realism of wildlife without altering the original designs. This means animals retain their authentic in-game look, but with a much higher texture fidelity, improving the level of detail in fur, eyes, skin, and even the small creatures like bugs, birds, and all the little critters get a nice upscaled texture. Do note though, this will probably conflict with other animal texture mods, including the CRT animal textures. However, this is another fantastic texture enhancement mod that makes animals in KCD2 look much more realistic. If you want better looking wildlife with no performance loss, this is highly recommended. Good thing about this mod is that the 4K textures don't cause major performance drops, making it viable for most players. Coat and Hood variant introduces a hooded version of Yob's coat complete with multiple color variations. Unlike the original coat, this version features a hood instead of a full poncho. There has been a recent update as well, added a version without the heraldic symbol for a more neutral look. The mod is compatible with most other outfits, except for those that change the long gambesons, which only just cause some clipping issues but should still work. However, it gives you an excellent variety of different colors, and it's an exceptionally good looking coat. Excellent quality and style. You'll be definitely turning all the ladies' heads with this. A solid armor mod that expands the customization option, particularly with the addition of the hood. Definitely a good option for players who want more outfit variety without breaking the laws of attraction. Enhanced Mutt PTF mod significantly buffs Mutt's combat capabilities, making him a far more effective companion. This is one I've been definitely keen on. I like Mutt to be a beast, and now Mutt can kill unarmed enemies in just a few bites. He can survive more attacks, and stay loyal much longer. There's also a balanced version which reduces Mutt's overall capabilities, making him much more mild up, but it's still a moderate increase. Now for my testing, I didn't think he was too powerful at all, except for that he loved biting the balls. Glorious to watch. But Mutt does become a bit more of a beast. However, if he still gets attacked a couple times, he's still going to run away. But it just makes using Mutt a much more viable and interesting connection to combat. And I really appreciate this aspect, but this is a fantastic mod that makes Mutt a true asset in combat. Though it may be too strong for some, for me this was the perfect mod. You now have a loyal, fearless, strong companion that can really change the tide of battle. Horse equipment, HD, another mod that dramatically improves textures, this time for all horse-related gear. The mod upscales saddles, blankets, armor, and comparisons to 4K resolutions, providing more realistic material, sharper detail, and much better contrast. The effects are quite profound, particularly on some of the more decorated saddles, but getting right up and close, you get a good sense of the detail as the textures remain clear, even getting very close to them. For me, this has been one of the more notable changes in terms of the quality and visual differences, so I highly recommend all the texture mods, but this one particularly is very nice. The mod comes in the classic, more balanced version, optimized for performance and detail. Then we have the 2x, which is the 4K textures for high-end systems. But this is a terrific mod with a massive visual upgrade for horse gear, complements all the other HD texture mods that we've been covering, and it's just a fantastic visual mod that enhances horse gear's textures, making them sharper, more realistic, without major performance loss. Excellent choice for players who want a crisp, high-resolution texture for their horse equipment while maintaining good performance. We have the verdant vegetation. This mod revamps the natural landscape by overhauling trees, bushes, flowers, vines, and other vegetation. The goal here is to create a more immersive, lush, and realistic environment with improving texture and lighting interactions. The mod reworks textures for about 9 different tree species: silver birch, European beech, apple tree, Scout's pine, English oak, and a few others. It also updates the textures on the fallen trees, decayed trunks, stumps, and mistletoe, enhancing the color and richness. Best aspect to this mod for me is the improved sunlight interaction. Leaf and branches now react more naturally to the lighting, particularly notable when you're under a dense forest looking around. This is when this mod comes to shine the best. There's more natural color too, balanced for the trees based on the real world references, and works superb. Comes in the full version and the balanced version, you know the deal there, but it's a fantastic vegetation overhaul that makes the forest feel alive, but still has some minor lighting and performance issues in dense areas, but it's an extreme uplift to the overall environment and clarity while in forests and running around the world of KCD2. Realistic item rebalance. The realistic item rebalance mod fixes flawed economy by adjusting its item prices, weights, and food effects for a more balanced and believable experience. The mod corrects unrealistic pricing, making technologically advanced weapons, e.g. swords and chainmail, more expensive, while simpler tools, mace and bows, are much cheaper, or cheaper I should say. It also adjusts the armor weights to be more historically accurate and reworks food properties. It is a bit of an overhaul to the economy, weight, and food, but here are a few things. Weapons and armor prices adjusted based on complexity and material value. That's going to have a flow-on effect to swords, maces, heavy expensive armor pieces, shields, and lower tier armor. When it comes to the weight for realism, the weight have been adjusted more accurately. For weapons and armor, polearm and bows now weigh significantly less, and things like plates of armor weight have been significantly increased for balance. If vanilla pricing and item weights frustrate you, this mod is highly recommended. However, some food tweaks feel unnecessary, and adjustments to the early game balance may be needed. Probably not a mod that I'd recommend for new players, but a great mod for people that are looking to add a bit more realism, historical value, and some difficulty. This mod is called Public Enemy. Bit of a meme mod. It turns Henry into the ultimate outlaw, making every NPC in the game hostile towards him, regardless of his reputation, crimes, or past action. The goal of this mod was pure chaos, forcing players to fight, flee, or survive in a world where no one is on his side and everyone hates you. It effectively removes all social interactions from the game. No more bullying, selling, or talking, as everyone will try to kill Henry on sight. This mod is designed for players looking for an extreme challenge, or those who want a completely different gameplay experience. For my experience, I was hoping that every single NPC would try attack you. Women, cows, you name it. I was just hoping for the ultimate, everyone get Henry. This mod has limited use cases, but something interesting to consider and try, especially if you're an extreme combat nut, but extremely punishing mod. Refined Garments, PTF. This is an excellent mod that expands the variety of coats, hoods, gloves, and long garments. It introduces a ton of new clothing models, textures, colors, and it's a pretty insanely brilliant mod. Most of the outfits are based on the unique outfits worn by notable and noble NPCs. Standout feature is the recreation of Vivac's coat, which adds a new long coat type in the game, but it's a pretty mind-blowing mod, boasting over 240 new garment varieties, a wide selection of coats, hoods, gloves, and chieftains, uses textures from key figures within the game, introduces longer, more stylish outerwear. The coats are superb. I really like some of the designs, some interesting colors, features leather, satin, and embroidered patterns. There's also some jewelry options. Gloves now include bare hand versions with rings, but this is a must-have mod for players who love detailed, medieval fashion. The sheer variety of coats, hoods, and textures make it one of the best clothing mods I've seen so far, with the textures being inspired by Sigmund, Yops, Olitz, Hans, Ruthard, and many of the other main NPCs within the game. Make this pretty much a must-have for those wanting to dress to impress and get those ladies. Ow! The custom reticle mod allows full control over your aiming reticle in KCD2, giving ranged weapon users a much needed precision. It provides adjustable reticle for bows and crossbows, allowing you to move, resize, color, and save custom positions. This is especially useful due to the game's inconsistent aim positions across the different ranged weapons that are influenced by perks, distance. However, this aims to ensure a precise and consistent aiming experience. This is a pretty interesting mod to me. You will need install auto hotkey 2.0. However, this is a unique because you can actually adjust the reticle in game. So if you're finding that as you go through the perks, the reticles don't really give much help. If you find that you're firing at a more consistent range, this could be an excellent choice, but it's quite easy to adjust the reticle on the fly as well. So there'll be a bunch of keys. Say for instance, if you wanted to resize your reticle, you could hold Control plus Shift up and down arrows. You can also save and load the reticle position. You can have up to 3 presets. So this would be excellent for your master bowman. You could have one for close, mid, and long range. Could take a little bit of time to set up, but this is probably the most robust reticle position mod that we've got so far, but a whole range of customization, all accessible within game. But overall, this is extremely useful for ranged weapon users, fixing aiming inconsistencies and making archery feel precise. It takes some time to set up, and auto key dependency might turn some users off, but it's really easy to set up. A couple clicks and you're done. However, the in-game setting up will take some time, but a fantastic option to really hone in and master your bow and crossbow.